Ça va?
Ça va et toi?
Très bien.
Bon, James.
Hey, how are you, Edward?
Ça va et toi?
Très bien. I like your beard.
So young people, yeah.
Great to see you. Great to see you both.
Yes.
And listen, it was fun today. I tasted the George. I posted it on Instagram.
We showed that already. Nice.
Yeah, it's so good. I love that wine. 50% Malbec. I mean, it's crazy. You just want to drink it now.
Exactly.
Because I think before, when you some of the older vintages were a little bit dur, like the tannins were a bit hard, but this wine is really fantastic, really excellent. Well done. What's your thought on 2018 in general? How do you like it, and what are you thinking?
I think it's a vintage which has a very specific what you call meteo. You know, that means the first half of the year it was so raining, pouring, humid, and so on, and then after mid-July, dry. So, and the consequences is that we didn't have any wine, including at Pomerol, which suffer about hydric stress, even with the hot weather in summer. So the vines were able to really grow and to make the job for the grapes very easily. So it was absolutely awesome. And that makes this a special balance, which wine in general are very powerful, but not over powerful, and very integrated. And which I retest all the wines, you know, I think, which I'm amazed is also the quality of the mid-palate in general, you know. It's a full wine. You didn't have any, you know, down in the middle or whatever, you know, it's really from A to Z. Wow. You know, it's a really,
you know, you're the first one to say that. I've had a lot of Zoom calls, but you're right. It really has a complete mid-palate, which I hadn't thought about. And Bordeaux normally doesn't have it. It's more linear. It's it's more about the finish, and you know, attack and then the finish. The mid-palate gets lost, but it has such a full mid-palate that it gives this beautiful sort of unctuous gourmand character to it. And isn't it true, when you taste them, you just want to drink them? Exactly. And even though there's all this tannin behind it, but at the same time, it's really delicious. So
exactly.
Let's try the PUYGUERAUD then.
Okay.
So listening, the Franc Cotes de Bordeaux or Côtes de France, some really beautiful wines in 2018.
Yes,
I think that people don't know the appellation, but it's real. I think you've really caught up with Côtes de Castillon, and you have some really good players there, like yourself, like Matthew Chadronnier with Marceau.
So
what is it? Yours is Château de France. There's a lot of good wines being made.
You know, they know only one name in Côtes de France. You know, most of the time is PUYGUERAUD.
Yeah, that's what I know you've been making the wine since '83.
So yes, and we have enough volume to spread this wine all over the world. You know, we are making an average of 13,000 cases.
Wow.
You know, it's quite a good volume with this quality, you know.
So let's move on. And here's the other one, your special cuvée named after your father. And like I was saying today, I just love this wine. And has it always been 50% Malbec?
The idea at the origin, since the first vintage 2000, is to make what you call clin d'œil to George, because he loved Malbec, he loved the Cabernet Franc, he loved the Cabernet Sauvignon, and so forth. So the idea is to make, if it was possible, to have a minimum of Merlot in the blend. You know, at that time, I don't know if you remember in 2000, it was very à la mode to make a special cuvée of 100% Merlot, oaky, you know, kind of garage wine things. We wanted to be very different, you know. So no Merlot, small, I mean, a little. Maximum 20% in the blend, and all the rest is Malbec and Franc. So,
but you know, it's interesting. I was thinking with the change in the weather patterns of, or even global warming, that Malbec can play a much better role in Bordeaux now, because before it was always a little bit vegetal, a little bit green, and now you have perfect ripeness. Even, you know, with, it reminds me of some of the best in Argentina, but with a nice nice freshness like in Bordeaux. I think it's really exciting.
The quality of the vines George planted at that time was not so great, and the way it was done. So 18 will be the last vintages with Malbec, because we dug out all the Malbec to replant in the future soon a better Malbec, better rootstock and everything.
Make sure you get the cuttings, but you know, you should get the cuttings from probably Argentina. It's better. It's very interesting because you know, Paul Hobbs, the winemaker from California, and he makes Cobos in Argentina. He also works in Cahors, and he told me that they started planting cuttings from Argentina in Cahors because the original plantings from Cahors went to Argentina. And so the pure Malbec that used to be in France is still in Argentina, while they changed the clone in Cahors in France. So it might be something to look into. Okay, so let's try the L'Étoile.
L'Étoile, yes. So L'Étoile, you know, I do this one with Guillaume, BCC. And the idea is, again, is to have LALANDE-De-POMEROL more in the stylish style, instead of to have the big, strong Lalande, you know, like some.
But it still has a lot of structure.
I think between you and me, the best ever we will make is 19 coming up.
Wow.
19.
Honestly,
exactly.
This shows better than when I tasted it in barrel, and from barrel a couple of years ago. And I think that really the élevage you're doing really helps it.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, the aging in barrel.
Yeah, it's a really. And again, you know, this wine, when you feel about the mid-palate, is very present. You know.
Yeah.
It's very.
I agree. It's like Saveur in the mid-savory. Okay, so let's try the La Violette Manoir, Côtes de Castillon.
Manoir is, you know, it's coming from the Côtes de Castillon, the soil.
Yeah.
Very, very, very stony, calcaire, 100%, almost no earth. It's all vine. We have 80% of vines which are over 60 years old, and 20% of vine which are over 30 years old.
Wow. Beautiful tannins, firm yet fine tannins.
And you know, this wine in the US, you know, you're talking about with tax $18, you know.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yes.
C'est fou. Really, congratulations. So now we'll go to Pavie-Macquin.
Yes.
Great aromas.
Yeah, great aromas. And a little bit close at that stage, but very...
Wow. The tannins are so silky.
Silk, exactly. Oh, exactly what I was saying. That's one of the first vintage of... I don't know if you remember the old time of Pavie-Macquin. The big challenge was to get all those tannins kind of subtle.
It was, I would say, that this is it's very different in texture from old Pavie-Macquin, which was always a little bit like four square, you know, cadré, like framed. This is the first time you have fine tannins just across the palate. Don't you agree?
Yeah.
Normally it's a little bit hard.
It's now the Pavie-Macquin, what they achieve with the Nicolas and the Stéphane is really to have the right tannin, exactly, you know, it's really very harmonisé, you know?
Yeah, you're right, in harmony.
For me, it's one of the most elegant Macquin made now. It's a new, lot of precision, extremely a lot of precision.
Finally, we get to leaf.
Yeah.
This is really something. The nose is crazy, isn't it?
You know,
the fruit is just, the purity of fruit, just pure fruit. And
we taste all those wines before you came with Edward. And then we said at the end of the day, Leaf, when you arrive, boom.
Exactly. I had the same experience, let's see, on the 18th when I was tasting. And it was after like 40 wines. It was blind and I'm like, what? It's just like, I go, what is this? It's so incredible. And as I remember, this has a little bit more Cabernet Franc in it, right?
30% of Cabernet Franc.
What was it normally?
Some vintages have not, like I think, yes, or 70, I don't know. Either one. I mean, so usually is about 20%.
Okay.
But some doesn't have less. But this one has the biggest, I guess, percentage.
The nose is phenomenal.
Yeah,
and the tannins just, you know, soyeux, so silky and polished and amazing.
Long.
I'd like to taste that against the VCC. That would be interesting.
You know that I had Guillaume yesterday, and he had samples of VCC. You know that?
No, I didn't know that. Well, that is clearly the best. Your first vintage was 12 or 11.
11.
Yeah.
11.
This is clearly the best wine. This is really fantastic wine, and I just love the structure and beauty to it. Congratulations. And was the production normal or was it smaller than normal?
No, it's a normal production. It's about around 7,000 bottles.
Wow.
Good.
Okay, listen, François, I got to get back and taste some more wines, but it was so good to catch up with you guys, and I look forward to tasting en primeur with you in April. And congratulations on your 18s. They were really beautiful wines and really an excellent vintage. Okay, mon ami. Okay. Ciao, Edward. Good seeing you. Say hi to everyone.
Bye.